Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. This is video 3 of the collage of different kittens. You can see that we are working along the top. We are almost finished with the first row section. As always, if you enjoy this sort of content, please hit the thumbs up. Subscribe, it's 100% free. And as always, I'm so happy that you could join me today. We're gonna start with the letter D. Okay. Hope everyone is doing well today, or as well as can be expected. I am still on the road of recovery from my hip replacement surgery. It's been quite a journey for me. Then we're going to do this 3 triangular square. Really chomping at the bit about wanting to be active. But the flesh heals the way it heals. You can't make it hurry. Okay. No matter how much I would like to be as active as I used to be, every day I gain more strength and more ability to do what I want to do. I don't know if anyone can tell, but I am originally originally from, why they call it upstate New York, I have no idea, because it is at the very, very edge border of Pennsylvania state, and I grew up in both states, in Pennsylvania and New York. Don't know if you can tell by my accent or not. I've had people that actually had trouble understanding me, saying that my accent was too heavy for them to understand. And in fact, the area I grew up in, one controversy of speech is I grew up calling soda or pop, soda pop. That's what we called it, soda pop. It was actually both words. Where in many states, they only use one reference or the other. Or even use the word Coke as a generic reference. So that's what we called it, soda pop. Which is definitely a cultural difference than many states may have. And then there was such thing as sketty, like instead of spaghetti, it was pronounced in our area as sketty. It was actually called sketty. Very short slang. Many words were slanged off. Okay. Whoops, I think that one did not let go. So there is still right there. Now I'm going to get the bigger stylus, so to fill in some of these larger areas. All right. If I can get some of these to cooperate with me. Oh, I might have one too many of these. But that's all right. We managed to still do it. Awesome. All right. They're too small. We got another 5 right there. Okay. All right. That's of the large ones. We're going to go back to our favorite stylist and work on this smaller grouping here, which don't warrant the huge amounts. It's just too small. And I think one more from what I can see. So, all right, I think that pretty much does all of them. So we're going to go to the letter Q now. Should have filled this one up with drills. Did not know. Sometimes before I make videos, I will check the trays and see which ones need more drills added. And I did not do that this time. So hopefully will be just fine. Right now I'm just filling in some singular ones here and then I can move on to more complex, doubled or more. So if anybody has any trouble understanding me when I talk, just go ahead and leave me a comment. I like to believe that I speak just fine. Most people can understand me from what I've been able to gather. And I do not speak in a highly cultural manner because I grew up very poor. So if you're looking for very refined speech, you're not going to get it from me. Nor did I go to any refined schools. Pretty much down-to-earth culture. Work hard and just try to make a living to live. Don't know about all that getting ahead. I just want to be comfortable and be able to pay my bills, not go hungry. I've gone hungry before. That's not fun. So having just a little bit of trouble with these, getting them to flip over. So getting rows, and to get the rows to be long enough. There. Because I have really a long line right there. How many is that? 6? Yes. Okay. I managed to grab a 6. All right. And then there is a 5. Right here. Okay, and then we have another 5. Right here. All right. And let's see. They start to shorten up now. So I think I'm going to switch back to my smaller stylus. Because again, kind of hard to work with a great big stylus when you only need singular drills. The big stylus just is too much. The ends are too big. Hard to see, hard to do anything. Okay. Okay. definitely need to reload this tray up. Okay. Alright, now I got a few that are like 2 and 4. So we're going to work on those. Okay. Couple more singulars. Whoops. Any more? Not that I can see right offhand, so now we're going to work on W. Well, I definitely have more of these stashed on the tray. Okay. All right. All right. I like to try to get the singulars filled in and get them out of the way. And then, because then, I can work on the groupings. So, between growing up in New York and Pennsylvania, mostly went to school in Pennsylvania though. Didn't enter New York in the schooling system until I was 16, and then I dropped out. And that was because there were students who loved to torment me due to my teeth, which were not straight and was a flaw, but apparently, and I discovered that only as I got older and I had my own children, and as I told them, children who make fun of and torment others is usually doing the same thing they're taught by people who torment them, be it adults or other kids. and they feel that it's acceptable to do the same thing to others that is being done to them. It doesn't make it right. It just is an explanation as to why they do that. And that it doesn't make you less than. And my son, he was upset, my youngest. He told me about this kid who kept calling him F-A-G. It really just derogatory term. And I said to him, I go, well, let's look it up. Let's see what it says. And believe it or not, in England, fag, which is an old term, and they still use it in England, means cigarette. Means cigarette. Yeah. Do you got a fag? Means do you have a cigarette? And I told my son, I go, if you really want to shut up someone who is calling you derogatory terms, I go, try intelligence first. Because people don't know, people who are cruel, who don't think about what they're saying and how it affects others. They don't know what to say when you fight back with intelligence. And so he told him, he goes, I'm not a cigarette. And the kid didn't know what to say. Which, it's so funny that he was calling him that, because my son isn't gay. He doesn't have gay tendencies. Not that I care if he was or not. I would still love and accept my children, no matter what their sexual preferences are. Because it's not any of my business. I don't have to live their life. I don't have to be a part of whatever it is that they feel they need to do. The only concern I had with my children is don't have children young. 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds, 15, 16, all of that. You're not mature enough to have children. Children are a lot of work and responsibility. And I don't want you having kids as a child. Grow up. Take the time to grow up and figure out what you're doing with your life before you involve the child in the world. That was my only concern. Same as even young 20-year-olds. Young 20-year-olds are still trying to figure it out. And it's a lot harder to figure it out when you got a child on your hands trying to take care of. So that was the only thing that I ever harped on my kids about, because it affects children. When you are young and you're stressed, you make a lot of mistakes, and it takes a lot of maturity and a lot of responsibility to take care of a young child. And that's not fair to the child, let alone to the one that's trying to figure it out. So, yeah. The kid stopped trying to call him names. And as far as me quitting, I went on to get my GED. It wasn't that I couldn't do the work. I was just so, I don't believe in bullying any way, shape, or form. If your child is calling other children names and tormenting other children, they got a problem. Whether the problem stems from the parent or from other kids teaching them that, they're not busy enough. I grew up so busy and so worked. Like, we didn't have the luxury to sit on electronics and do nothing all the time. Nope. We were put to work constantly doing things. So, and I dislike bullies immensely. There was a girl who was angry at her sister because her sister walked home with my daughter instead of with her sister. And she threatened to strangle and, unalive my daughter. And I called the cops on it. And the cops at first was like, well, what do you expect us to do? I was furious. I was like, we have these anti-bullying laws, anti-violent laws that are supposed to be linked to the school. And here she's walking home from school, and this girl is threatening to, harm my daughter, and you're not going to do anything. So finally the police officer was like, oh, okay, well, I'll go and talk to her and see what she says. The girl denied it. Of course she did. Cops there, she ain't going to want to admit that she threatened to harm my daughter. Then the police officer asked the sister, well, the one that walked with my daughter, and was like, did your sister say this to this girl? And she told him, yeah. And she got in trouble. She was told that if anything happens, she would be arrested for bodily harm and whatnot. The girl never did speak to my daughter again. Not the one that liked my daughter, but her sister. She left my daughter alone. I was infuriated. I just don't believe in that. You don't have to talk to someone. If you don't like them, don't talk to them. Don't say anything to them. Just leave them alone. If you want to pretend they don't exist, fine. More than likely, you're doing that person a favor. Just leave them alone. But you're going to threaten, you're going to open your mouth, you're going to take and go out of your way to bother someone. That's a problem. In my world, that's a problem. You do you, leave other people alone. That's what I was raised on. You leave others alone. It is not your right to bother others, to torment others, to make a nuisance of yourself. It's called respect. Respect and common courtesy. Just general courtesy. You don't have to talk to another if you don't want to. You don't have to even acknowledge them. You can just ignore them and walk down the street. It is not your given right to bother others. I think we've lost that a lot. I've seen it a lot. Where others have to, if you're seeing an injustice, a cruelty, someone harming another, if you want to call 911 or step in, that's understandable. But you do not have the right to harm others, torment others, be racist, whatever it may be. That is just outright cruelty, and it's wrong. Absolutely wrong. All right, still working on longer rows. I had to flip over some because they don't want to flip. So that one is 6 as well. All right. All right. So I'm brown-red descent. Yep. Native American and brownish skin coloring. Not African American, European, like Asian. And so I know how it feels to be less privileged, you could say, and to be not accepted. And then to top it off, you know, when you inherit large teeth that have with small mouths and other, you know, not quite normal or beautiful features, I know how cruel people can really be and how it feels to be totally unaccepted. One of the main reasons why you will probably never see me on video. Because 1, I don't want my face out there. And 2, I don't need that kind of judgment anymore. I'm just old, I'm tired, I don't care. And I think too much importance is placed on pretty privilege, and that it doesn't form good character to begin with. How pretty you are does not denote your character. And many pretty people, and I'm going to be honest, there's a lot of them that are not nice. They're very entitled. And I try not to judge someone until they start opening their mouth and I get to see their behavior, their demeanor, their attitude. And if I don't want to engage, I just don't. I don't engage. I found the easiest way to deal with a lot of those situations is by not engaging. That's why I said if you don't want to talk to someone, don't talk to them. Just totally de-engage and do you. That way I protect myself. And you can bet, right? And you're thinking, man, this lady doesn't have friends. Well, friends do not put a roof over my head. They do not feed me. They do not clothe me. They do not deal with my troubles and my trials and tribulations. So I just don't care. I'm a workaholic. I learned to be a workaholic due to the lack of everything. Okay, we're going to do letter M. Okay, there we are. And some of you may feel sorry for me or think that's terrible. But yeah, and not only that, anymore, the society has changed so much from what I remember. ways good, in some ways bad. And I'm just going to be honest, I just don't even care anymore. I just want to be able to pay for the roof over my head, not live under a bridge is my joke. I tell people, yep, I work so I don't have to live under a bridge. And so I can grow old and I can have peace. Because I can't say I grew up in the best of environments, and just having peace of mind, be able to get up, do my thing, have my kitty cats. I just want peace. Yep. That's what I want, is peace, quiet, tranquility, no expectations on someone making demands from me that want to take and take and take and give nothing in return. I just want to live my life with my choices, my money, my expectations, and I'm good. Do what I enjoy. I enjoy keeping active. I enjoy creating. I enjoy running my own businesses. I don't have a need for all the other things that many people I get to see my grandkids, the few I have, and it just seems as, for me, a lot of people say that life slows down when you get older, but for me it seems to just speed up because I never get enough time out of a day to do everything I'd like to do. That's how busy I keep myself. And so I'm fine. I'm good with it. Okay, so now I think we're going to do N. We only got a few of them. Kind of weird that they make the background green for N. But that's how they do it. Maybe because brown has a lot of green in it. I'm not sure. Whoops. Well, then. Trying to take off some of the white clay. It's okay. That's all I see. So we're going to do the letter P. Oh, goodness, where did that come from? There it is. And we have a few scattered ones. So anyways, that's my grift. It's just the way I am. I learned that I like stuff. I like taking care of myself. That I have 2 failed marriages that I divorced them each. I raised 4 kids all on my own and without any family help on either side. And I learned to be strong, independent, and alone. So this is that hook arrow, almost like a U-turn. And the hardest part of all growing up is learning that chasing love does not mean that you're wanted or accepted at all. Yep. So I was so abused and unwanted as a child that I would chase love, thinking that if someone loved me, it means that I was wanted and accepted. And it doesn't mean that at all. And I am just done. Yep. And finally, you learn the biggest thing about loving yourself and accepting that you're enough. And that's good enough. So, and by doing so, you also find peace. And some people will be like, well, if you met the right person, would you go in a relationship? I don't know. With menopause, tell you what, it made it so I could care less, and I like it that way. It was hard enough when I had children to deal with their different personalities and all the drama and whatnot that comes with having children, and there's a lot of it. I don't like putting up with grown people attitudes. I don't want them in my bed. I don't want to hear them. I don't want to put up with it. I don't want to clean up after them. Capital B will be next. I don't want to share my bathroom. I don't want to clean after them. I don't want to hear them. I don't want to put up with attitude. I don't care what they want to watch. I know what I want to watch. And because I've always, even my exes, yeah, I ended every single relationship. You bet ya. Because I end up being the bread earner. If I'm going to have to make my own money and take care of the bills, the house, the everything, I'm going to do it alone. And I'm good. Yep. There's just not enough that any male partner ever brought to the relationship that would ever make me want to deal with them again. As soon as they open their mouths, hell, men don't even give you a decent conversation. So I've just decided that I'd rather be alone. Okay, so our next one will be S, I believe. Yes, because it's the farthest one over. Where did I get this one from? There it is. B. Now we're going to work with S. And I even was the one that paid for the divorces on the ones I married. Yeah, I don't make a good partner because I just can't deal with it. I made a good parent with mistakes. No such thing as being perfect. Raised 4 children. All 3 are on their own. My youngest one lives with me. We live with a lot of tolerance and respect of one another. There's no fighting, yelling, screaming, and other things. I expect him to pull his weight. If he doesn't want to, he always has the option of living on his own. I'm not afraid to bring, he pays 50% of the rent, his share, because that's how it should be. He's not a baby anymore. He's done that since he was 18. He's paid his share. And I treat him like an adult. And I expected to be treated with respect and consideration. And we have our differences at times. But all in all, and even when he helps me after each surgery, I pretty much pay him to be my nursemaid. Like, I'll pay his share of rent for that month because I don't expect him to drop his life and take care of me because that's not fair. We're going to do letter R now. Because I don't want to be a burden. And so we get along. Are there little things that sometimes irks me? Yes. But not so much so that he... And when we've had huge differences, you know, I'll be like, this is my grief, this is my gripe, and I lay it out in a calm manner, and I go, we need to discuss this. We're not going to fight about it, and if we cannot come to some sort of resolution, then maybe we should part ways, and because that's how I like it. I don't want to. And if he has any objections to it, to what is bothering me, I'm willing to listen, and we'll see if we come to a compromise. Yeah. Because that's how adults should do it, is talk about it, a compromise or a resolution, and if you can't, part ways. Because there's no need to live in traumatic, fighting type of lifestyle. If you can't get along, part ways. That's your best option. Okay, I think that's it on number 6. Now we're going to the B. Okay, and that's lowercase b. All right. Because nobody wants to live in a constant turmoil situation where everything is a fight and you're always prepared for a fight. I grew up that way. I don't want to live that way. And so, yeah. Quite a few of these bees scattered around. I think we're in a shadowed part area. Oops, that one don't look like it's set in there properly. Wow, we're getting down there. We got a couple right here, and we got a couple right here, and that seems to be it. We missed a couple of the cues when we were doing them, so I need to fill them in. Fill that one in. Then we have F. No, excuse me, that's an E. All right. Hard to see it when you're leaning way over to see it. Definitely getting fall. It's getting colder and colder. Yeah, that was the uppercase E, by the way. Now we have V. Just a couple of them. Okay. And then I see a number 2. So it's actually pretty easy to follow along. You'll notice I always go for the upper right-hand side letter or number first, whichever character it is, because I always work right to left. And I do highest to lowest. At least now I do. Before I was doing it quite randomly, but I prefer to work my way down. So now you'll see that I always had, so we got like a double diamond dot next. I need to find it. There it is. Double diamond dot. So and it looks like E is next. And boy, do we have a lot of them. And that's the lowercase e. So I need to find that one. Here it is. Okay. So here soon, as I get a bit better, I'm actually considering doing videos where I am cutting the wood for the framing, doing the framing, and making separate videos out of it. So I think that would be interesting because I'm going to be using a table saw and then a brad nail gun. I've decided it's going to be a battery powered one because they're lighter weight and more diversible. I don't have to have a horrible air compressor, although I have my own air compressor. It's just they make so much noise when they're running. And I got a framer, and I'm going to show myself making them. And I'm going to also put those videos on this channel because it relates to the diamond art that I'm doing right now. That may not be for about another month, but I definitely plan on doing it. Okay, we're getting near the end. We got 4 and 5 left. So, do please subscribe. It really helps move my channel forward. And hit the thumbs up. Do please leave a comment if you like. Remember, you're appreciated. I thank anyone and all that enjoys watching me do this diamond art. And I really, really, really hope that you all take care and are living the best life that you possibly can. And there's number 5. And take care, and until next time, thank you much.